Judge Lake greets everyone with her usual flair and introduces the spicy case of Cooper vs. Canterbury. Just wait until you hear what happens next. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Cooper versus Canterbury.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Cooper, you admit to a brief sexual fling with the defendant, but state there is no way you fathered her 2-year-old son, Jaden. You opened your case because you claim Ms. Canterbury threatened to put you on child support, and you want to prove you're not the father before she can do that.
Can you believe this drama? Mr. Cooper casually admits to a brief fling with Ms. Canterbury, but adamantly denies fathering her son, Jaden. He's determined to avoid those pesky child support obligations. The drama is just beginning, and it's already so juicy.
Wait, he just got dropped off.
Right! My point exactly. That's how quick she fell in love with the baby.
She told Ms. Canterbury to leave the baby there with her.
She knew from the start that he was Jaden's. Jaden looked
How old was Jaden when you left the baby with his mom?
He was probably like a month old.
Man, right.
A month old.
Exactly.
But now he's 2 years old.
Almost
About
3.
to be 3.
Almost 3, yep.
What a moment. Mr. Cooper presents a calendar to explain the timeline of their sexual encounters, claiming he wore a condom every time. The details are getting even juicier, and you won't believe what's next.
You see right here?
Yes.
In the week of September, this is the first time we had sex. I wore a condom.
Nope.
Second time we had sex was this week through the 28th. And I remember it was threesome. We was all drunk.
You were
And I had a condom
definitely
on.
alive.
How are you so sure you wore the condom?
Judge, I woke up with it on.
Oh!
What a twist. Judge Lake performs a calculation using Jaden's birth date to determine the window of conception, aligning perfectly with Ms. Canterbury's timeline. The suspense keeps building, and it's electrifying.
My point exactly.
All right, you may step back to the plaintiff's podium and let me do my own calculation. Let me get the conception calculator here and let's go to work. So let's start with, when was Jaden born?
May 27, 2006.
May 27th?
Can you believe this drama? Judge Lake highlights the inconsistency in Mr. Cooper's calendar and reiterates the calculated conception window, further challenging his shaky claims. The tension is at its peak, and you won't believe what's next.
Date in, got it. If we hit calculate, the conception window would have been between September 2nd and September 6th, and the most probable time of sex would be between August 30th and September 6th.
Judge,
So
I
even
told
if
you.
So let's go
Even if it
back
was
to
the
your
date he was
calendar, Mr. Cooper.
What a revelation. Mr. Cooper sticks to his story, maintaining he wore a condom during their encounters, while Ms. Canterbury insists otherwise. The drama intensifies, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
You wore a condom.
I sure did the first 2 times.
Nope.
Not the third
We
time.
didn't
Not in
have- we
October.
didn't have
I
sex
didn't. I'm
3
not gonna
times
lie.
this year. You
I had
sound
I
dumb.
had a few drinks.
You got caught slipping.
More than a few.
I was more than slipping. I was falling. I don't know what to say, Judge.
So you're saying that in your calculation, you were not having sex with Ms. Canterbury during the window of conception.
Right.
This is wild. Mr. Cooper insists he wasn't even in town during the likely conception period, leading to a fiery exchange with Ms. Canterbury. The stakes are even higher now, and the tension is through the roof.
Now I'm gonna say this one time. Can I say something, Judge, please?
But August was not on your exhibit, Mr. Cooper. So
Because he don't know what he's talking about. He just looks dumb. He don't know what he's talking
Ooh,
about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
You don't.
and why could it not be August, Mr. Cooper?
Jaden was made in August. I ain't touched back down to Toledo to September.
What a twist. Ms. Canterbury reveals her current boyfriend, Casey, has been acting as Jaden's father since he was 1, providing financial and emotional support. This story has more twists and turns than a soap opera.
Who's been Jaden's father
My
figure?
boyfriend, Casey.
So your boyfriend has had to step up and be a father figure to Jaden.
Yes, we've been together before Jaden was 1 year old. He's been here, he's taken care of him financially, he's been here, taught him things. He's been the only father figure in his life.
Can you believe this? Mr. Cooper emphasizes his commitment to his family's attachment to Jaden and his desire to clarify paternity to avoid disappointing his mother. The tension keeps escalating, and the stakes are getting higher.
I just said that, right? So you think I'm gonna disappoint my mama, even though I feel that doubt? I'm not about to have my mama look at me because she ain't raised that type of man. Whether I do or I don't know, that's why we here to find out today, which I need to find out.
Because you say your mother has just decided it's our baby.
Yeah, my mama put the role on me.
Look at that. Y'all see that? They look just alike. Look
Man,
at that
looks
nose. No.
I'm pretty sure you see looks are deceiving every day in this court, Judge. They are deceiving. Don't let nothing fool you.
This is unbelievable. Mr. Cooper hopes to prove he is not the father, fearing the emotional impact on his family if the results confirm otherwise. The suspense is at its peak, and the next part will blow your mind.
What are you hoping for today?
Your Honor, I came here to prove that I wasn't the father.
That you were not.
Yes, I'm not. But then as I sit here and say that, if that case come back that I'm not that father, that's gonna break their hearts at home. Cause they got so attached to him.
I just hope that, the test results prove that he's the father.
What a revelation. Mr. Cooper accepts the results and pledges to take responsibility, promising to support Jaden and communicate directly with Ms. Canterbury. The story reaches its resolution, but it's not over yet.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Cooper, you are the father.
Like I said, that's what I thought.
The session starts with introducing the case of Montoya, Sensabaugh versus Brown. And let me tell you, it's going to be a roller coaster. Ms. Montoya and her son, Mr. Sensabaugh, are convinced they've been duped by Ms. Brown about the paternity of her child. Judge Lake notes that a recent brush with death has made the DNA results today even more critical. You think that's crazy? Just wait.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Montoya, Sensabaugh versus Brown.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Montoya, you and your son, Mr. Sensabaugh, claim you've been lied to by the defendant about the paternity of her child on numerous occasions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you believe the drama here? Ms. Brown gives us the lowdown on how her relationship with Mr. Sensabaugh hit the skids, blaming his mama's boy tendencies. She even had an apartment ready, but he ghosted her on lease signing day, leaving her to pack her bags for Oklahoma. Talk about a plot twist, and guess what happens next?
You say you were in a relationship. How did it end?
I didn't know that Gregory was such a mother's boy and that I was dealing with his mother.
How am I a mother's boy?
I would be dealing with his mother. I didn't lay with her, I laid with him. It ended when we had a conversation and he had said that he was ready to man up and move in together. So I had found an apartment. I had an apartment that was ready for us to sign the paperwork.
Oh boy, here we go. Judge Lake digs into the timing of Ms. Brown's activities with her ex right after being with Mr. Sensabaugh. Ms. Brown sheepishly admits it was pretty soon after, confirming our suspicions. You won't believe what she says next.
And how soon after you were intimate with Mr. Sensabaugh did you go down to see your ex?
It was soon. Yes.
Is that evidence you have for me? Jerome, will you pass that?
This is the calendar of the times that you slept with both of them.
Outlined the dates you were intimate with both men on a calendar. Green are the days you were intimate with Mr. Sensabaugh.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is getting juicy. Judge Lake looks over a calendar Ms. Brown brought in, showing when she was intimate with both men, color-coded and all. The calendar proves there's a lot of gray areas here about who's the dad, and the plot thickens even more.
I guess experiencing morning sickness. Now here we go, you drove.
Greg knew.
You told me. I don't know what you told Greg or what.
I never told you that I took a plane to Oklahoma.
Did.
But did you tell her
Yes,
when you got
did.
off the plane?
No.
But when did you tell me you started throwing
I didn't
up?
talk to you until like a little bit after 8 months when I told him that he may be the father.
The tension is off the charts. Ms. Montoya and Mr. Sensabaugh vent their frustrations over Ms. Brown's lies, with Ms. Montoya bringing up her son's near-death experiences to stress the importance of the truth. The family's pain is clear, and just when you thought it was over, it's not.
That's
Be
not
with
true
him
either.
and something happening to my child.
That's
I
not
love
true
all my
either.
children equally and dearly.
True
And it
either,
would have
because
just
regardless
been not
of his,
right to...
like I explained to you, regardless of his life, I would have been the primary responsible person.
And you ain't had the
You're
best
not the
lifestyle
primary
over there
responsible
either.
person when we were sleeping together. So how can I get your word for that?
That was an emotional roller coaster. Ms. Montoya gets teary-eyed, talking about the potential grandchild she might be missing out on, sharing stories of her own past trauma. She mentions her 91-year-old grandmother, who might have a new great-great-grandchild. The stakes are sky high, and the drama keeps coming.
Your son told you there could be a baby.
No. Honestly, when I saw the baby, I called to check on the baby and her. I'm not, she can call me as she may, but I still
I never
care.
said
I'm a
anything
caring
about you, and I
person.
still don't think nothing about you because I don't know you as a person.
She actually getting emotional talking about checking on you and your child.
What a revelation. The court gets the DNA test results, showing zero probability of Mr. Sensabaugh being the dad. Ms. Brown's initial certainty just crumbles, and the audience is left gasping. But the surprises aren't over yet.
I got an email in the middle of the night
And what did the results say?
that there was zero probability of paternity.
Zero.
Zero.
But then what happens on week 14?
Week 14, I get told by my son that she said she lied and that she swapped one of her other kids on purpose so that he wouldn't be the father.
Wait a minute.
The drama is at its peak. Ms. Montoya shares the emotional toll of the situation, especially with her son's risky lifestyle and near-death experiences. She emphasizes the need for truth for her 91-year-old grandmother, who deserves to know if she has a great-great-grandchild. The family's need for closure is palpable, and you won't believe what's next.
This is my son. I can lose him at any given time. He's been shot twice. Who's to say the third time isn't gonna be it? My son
Simpson?
almost died when he was 2 weeks old. So if she wants to consider him a mama's boy, that's fine. With him getting shot, it brings just different emotion to me. And I have a 91-year-old grandmother that's still able-bodied, and if this is her great-great-grandchild, she wants to be a part of her life as well.
That was heart-stopping. Judge Lake reads the final DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Sensabaugh, you are not her father.
The case of Lee Veras Green is introduced, with Miss Lee aiming to prove Mr. Green fathered her 3-year-old son, Kingston. Miss Lee states Mr. Green denied the child from the beginning of her pregnancy. She hopes today's proceedings will end his denial. Hold on tight, because this is just the beginning of the roller coaster.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Lee versus Green.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Lee, you have come to court today with one goal in mind, to prove to Mr. Green that he fathered your 3-year-old son, Kingston. Mr. Green has denied your son from the moment you got pregnant, but his denial will end. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get your popcorn ready. Miss Lee recounts her struggles to get Mr. Green involved in Kingston's life, stating he never came around as he should. Mr. Green admits to trying to meet Miss Lee halfway, but she always gave excuses. He claims Miss Lee knew he had a girlfriend and attempted to break them up. Seriously, this is better than a soap opera.
But at the end of the day, I just want him to step up.
And Kingston is 3 years old.
Kingston's 3. He just turned 3 June 3rd.
So this
And he
happened.
didn't do nothing for his birthday.
I try to meet her
When?
halfway, but her attitude is just...
My attitude has nothing to do with
it's
you
messed
stepping up for your child.
It's messed up. She always give me some runaround excuse after excuse for, you know what I mean? It don't make sense. You know, I try to meet her halfway as far as, you know, taking the DNA test and things like that, but talking, it was back and forth. We was never in no steady relationship. She knew I had a girlfriend already.
This is juicy. Miss Lee describes an incident where she called Mr. Green's girlfriend from his phone to reveal she was pregnant. She details how she made him talk to his girlfriend while she was on the phone. This incident highlights the conflict and tension in their relationship. Wait till you see what happens next.
Oh, he couldn't. I called him.
She did.
Oh,
From his phone. Yeah, I snuck, called the girl, woke him out his sleep and made him start talking and didn't let him know she was on the phone until the end of the conversation. Yeah, your dude over here and I'm pregnant, you know.
Whoa.
That's what it is.
in your mind, you knew you weren't really in a relationship with him, but you thought he was trying to play both sides.
Told me she was back and forth between some other dudes. She didn't know if his or mine at first.
Okay, wait.
I slept
Okay.
with another dude. Yes, I did. I slept with another dude one time with a condom.
Things are heating up. Mr. Green presents Facebook posts by Miss Lee, which he claims show her promiscuity. Miss Lee dismisses the relevance of the posts, stating they were made after Kingston's birth. Mr. Green insists these posts prove his doubts about Kingston's paternity. Stay tuned, because it's about to get even crazier.
That was recently. And that's not when King was born, 2015 now.
Okay. And you submitted another question. Raise of hand. Who got the good D?
I want to know who got it.
Come on now.
I'm single.
She was advertising. I don't know who she with. Me and her were just friends with benefits.
Mr. Green, when you see these posts, you say she's out with whoever got the good D.
Yeah, basically.
I was out with.
Basically.
I was.
And you admittedly say that's what I'm looking for. That's what I asked.
I don't sugarcoat nothing.
This is unreal. Miss Lee reveals she has a sugar daddy who has supported her for 10 years but claims they never had sex. Mr. Green argues that the sugar daddy's support casts doubt on Kingston's paternity. Miss Lee insists her sugar daddy is not involved in Kingston's paternity. Get ready, because the plot thickens.
So you do have a sugar daddy?
Yeah, I got me a good sugar daddy. My sugar daddy been there for 10 years, have never ever left my side. He come way before this. He might want some pictures. Pictures and something else is totally, sex and pictures are totally different. Yeah, I send pictures.
This sugar daddy paid for the baby shower too.
Baby shower, he buys one, he does everything.
Where were you? You ain't bought nothing. You should be surprised another dude is doing something.
Oh man, the suspense. Mr. Green explains his numerous attempts to get a DNA test for Kingston, detailing several refusals by Miss Lee. Miss Lee counters by saying Mr. Green should have paid for half of the test. The judge criticizes both for not resolving the issue sooner. Don't go anywhere, because the revelations keep coming.
First of all, he was born on June 3rd. I went to the hospital. I asked the hospital, can we go ahead and get DNA testing done, whatever. So a few days later going by, she's telling me, oh, it's too soon for him to come outside. He was just born, this and that.
I refused because he was a day old.
Here comes November. I'm still asking her, like, okay, cool, I want to see him. Let's go ahead and get the DNA results done, this and that. Oh, I'm all the way out here in Douglasville. I don't have a ride. You got to come get me. I'm like, why you can't meet me halfway? So she refused then, Your Honor, too.
This is getting intense. Mr. Green expresses his doubts about Kingston's paternity, citing Miss Lee's past past statements and behaviors. Miss Lee argues that physical resemblance to Mr. Green's baby pictures proves paternity. The judge emphasizes that biology, not appearances, determines paternity. There's still more to uncover.
I mean, because like I said, when he was first born, she was saying, she did admit that she slept with someone. Top of that, after he was born, she kept asking me, oh, let me see your baby pictures. Let me get your baby picture, trying to compare. And once she got the baby pictures, that's when she felt like she was 100%.
Bingo,
you know,
bingo.
She was
Don't that look like the
100%
same
sure.
baby? Look like the same baby. That's him in the blue.
Well, once
so,
she seen the picture, that's when she felt more confident.
That's him.
You can't
That's
just go off the
him.
picture.
What a twist. The judge addresses the emotional impact of foster care on Miss Lee and her desire to ensure Kingston has a father. Miss Lee shares her pain of not having a father growing up and wants to prevent the same for her son. The judge commends Miss Lee's persistence. You won't believe the next part.
Only time I feel like she really hits me up there, and then she'll be like, oh, I need a babysitter. What you doing? That's the only time I feel like. Only time she called me up and it's more convenient for her to go to
One
work.
of the babysitters
It's not
I had, so when I told her that,
But what you're
not a babysitter, you don't babysit your own.
I'm not a babysitter. That's why I'm not a babysitter.
It's a different.
I mean, it's not so far out of the ordinary for her to say, hey, mister, can you watch child while I go to work? Or even if she just needed a break, that she trusts you because you were so good to her other child.
And the moment of truth, the judge reads the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Green, you are the father.
Told you! I told you! Look at him!
Judge Lake opens the court with all the authority of a TV judge and greets everyone like a boss. The case is introduced as Craig vs. Craig Thompson. Sounds dramatic already, right? Jerome, ever the reliable assistant, gets a well-deserved thank you. Buckle up, this ride is about to get wild.
You say that today is your last.
Can you even wrap your head around this? Miss Craig narrates her first encounter with Mr. Thompson when she was around 10, a scene straight out of a soap opera. Turns out the man she thought was her father was just her mom's boyfriend. Plot twist. Janelle, ever the keeper of secrets, had everyone believing Mr. Thompson was the real dad. The plot is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal now. This is getting harder to process by the second. Janelle recalls a tavern encounter where she casually informed Mr. Thompson they had a child together, like you do, right? Mr. Thompson's reaction? Utter bewilderment and denial. He was like, kids? What kids? Meanwhile, Janelle's all, surprise! It's a 10-year-old. Keep watching. This roller coaster isn't slowing down.
That wasn't Mr. Thompson.
No.
Who's this man she thought was her father?
That was the current boyfriend, and he knew he wasn't the father.
Wow, the tension in here is thicker than Thanksgiving gravy. Mr. Thompson recalls seeing Chanel as a tiny baby at her grandmother's house post-prison stint. Seriously, this story has everything. He didn't believe she was his child, and now they're debating the finer details of who remembers what. You won't believe what happens next.
I didn't come out right in.
So you remember this day?
No. I remember seeing Chanel was a baby. She was one, but I came out of prison. I came by her grandmama's house. Her mother wasn't there, and I seen Chanel.
Unbelievable, right? Mr. Thompson recounts returning to Chanel's life after getting a call from her aunt. Talk about a comeback. Chanel, understandably wary, brought a posse whenever she visited him, and the whole situation overwhelmed him. The drama only intensifies from here.
When you got this call from her aunt that she needed you, you came back again.
She wouldn't come with me alone. I just felt like that I wanted to spend time with her. She didn't want to spend time with me. She wanted to bring other people, and I couldn't deal with that.
As a child, I didn't trust him to be with him, so every time I left with him, I would bring a cousin or my sister with me.
That was heart-wrenching. Chanel opens up about her paternity confusion, which has hurt her deeply. She recalls taking a DNA test with a man from her past who wasn't her biological father. Talk about a disappointing reveal. This added layers of confusion and frustration to her already complicated life. And believe me, the story's only getting more tangled.
What fantasy world are you living in? Because I don't see that.
You came out of the foster care system and you were living with your aunt and your mother. You think Mr. Thompson is your father?
Yes. Got back in touch with him. His girlfriend and her kids was telling me that he was saying that he didn't think I was his.
What an emotional moment. Chanel lays the blame on her parents for not resolving the paternity issue sooner. Janelle admits to a bit of promiscuity at 16, which really muddies the waters here. Mr. Thompson's doubts stem from not seeing Janelle pregnant and another name on the birth certificate. The revelations are coming fast and furious now. The case of Chirps versus McQueen kicks off in the courtroom. The judge brings everyone to attention as Ms. Chirps accuses Mr. McQueen of ditching their 9-month-old daughter, Aria. She's here to prove paternity and get Mr. McQueen to step up to the plate. Stay tuned. The courtroom drama is just heating up.
Ms. Chirpez, you claim you and your grandmother have been given no choice but to drag the defendant into court today because you say he moved away and abandoned your 9-month-old daughter, Aria. You believe the DNA results will prove that he's her biological father.
Can you feel the tension in the air? Ms. Chirpez confirms the judge's summary, stating firmly that she believes Mr. McQueen is Aria's biological dad and demands he acknowledge his duties. The judge lays out the stakes clearly for the court. court, while Mr. McQueen counters, blaming Ms. Chirps's interactions with other men for his departure. Oh, and it's about to get even juicier. Keep watching.
Mr. McQueen, you claim that Ms. Chirpez's relationships with multiple other men is what drove you away, and you believe that today's result proved baby Araya's father is another man.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Chirpez, tell me, what has Mr. McQueen done for your daughter so far?
This is where it gets real, folks. Ms. Chirpy shares how little Mr. McQueen has contributed to their daughter's upbringing. Only a box of diapers and a couple of wipes packs. The audience is visibly shocked by the revelation. The emotional toll on Ms. Chirpus is evident as she struggles with the minimal support from Mr. McQueen in raising Aria. Brace yourself. There's more emotion to come.
And I can see that that really hurts you. You very angry about that?
Yes.
Tell the court.
It's hard because, I don't know, I didn't ever see it like this.
How did you see it?
Like he had promised.
And how was that?
Definitely not like this. I had moved out to go live with him, and we had actually planned on having her. Everything went downhill from there.
Mr. McQueen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you done anything for this baby besides just these diapers?
Yes, Your Honor, I actually have.
Here's where the plot thickens. As tensions rise, Ms. Chirpys accuses Mr. McQueen of cheating, which she believes led to his doubts about Aria's paternity. Mr. McQueen doesn't deny his wanderings, and a heated exchange about trust and responsibilities ensues. The couple divulges details of their stormy relationship and its impact on their parenting responsibilities. Fasten your seatbelts. This confrontation is far from over.
It changed because I want to know if it's mine or not.
The only reason you're questioning me is because you were unfaithful.
I was unfaithful, yes.
And so you caught him cheating on you. And how did this lead to the paternity question? I mean, if you say you were faithful, he cheated on you, that still has nothing to do with Araya's paternity.
It's because he doesn't trust himself, so he thought it was all right, so he assumes I thought it was okay to be cheating on him.
Because he was out there doing the wrong thing, he thinks you were as well, but you were not.
No.
Just when you think you've heard it all, the grandmother steps in, expressing her exasperation with Mr. McQueen's lack of involvement and the heavy burden it places on her and her husband. She highlights the difficulty they face stepping in to support Aria. And just when you think things might start to cool down, there's another twist coming up next.
I don't understand how a father can do this to their child because I know she's his baby. She was so happy. She got pregnant because they had planned it, and he knows that. And then now he's doing this. Why? I mean, I don't understand it.
So, Mr. McQueen, did you plan to have Araya?
Yes, we did plan on having a ride.
So now she's here. What's the problem?
The problem is that when I was at work, she was doing what I don't even know, talking to all these other men. During all of this, this was, not okay with me.
Hold the phone. Major bombshell alert. Ms. Chirps admits to spending a night with another man, Mr. Gerber, under the pretense of visiting her father, sending shockwaves through the quiet. This confession complicates the paternity issue even further, and Mr. Gerber is brought in to testify. Things are about to get even more tangled, so don't go anywhere.
I heard she was sleeping with another man, and then 3 weeks after that, she chose another one. And if I was one of my doubts,
what are their names?
I was the child's father, then why did she refuse me to come to the delivery room? She had another man there.
Because you were arguing me about her last name, and I had informed you that I'm not arguing while I'm having our.
But yet there was the same man that you were getting money from when you were living with me, and we were together before Araya was born, and he was there.
Grab your popcorn. It's verdict time. As we edge closer to the climax, the courtroom is charged with anticipation as the judge prepares to reveal the DNA test results. Everyone is on the edge of their seats, waiting to find out who Aria's biological father is. The result will drop any minute now, and you won't believe what's next.
Let's get the results. Jerome.
All right.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Chirpes versus McQueen, pertaining to whether Mr. Gerber or Mr. McQueen is the father of 8-month-old Araya Chirpes.
And the plot twist you've been waiting for. The DNA results are revealed, confirming
the biological father is Mr. McQueen.
See?
The courtroom is abuzz as the judge takes the seat, ready to dive into the drama. The court session begins with all parties being greeted and seated, including the judge and the participants, Jerome, Ms. Kingsbury, and Mr. James. The case is formally introduced as Kingsbury versus James. All participants exchange greetings, setting a formal yet tense atmosphere. You won't believe how quickly things heat up from here.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Jerome.
This is the case of Kingsbury versus James.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Miss Kingsbury, you say you were in a romantic relationship with the defendant, Mr. James planned to have a child together, but when your 11-month-old son, Chance, was born, Mr. James turned on you and began to deny paternity.
The plot thickens as Mr. James throws a curveball. He counters Ms. Kingsbury's tear-jerking tale by claiming they had stopped being intimate during the key period when Chance could have been conceived. He's all in to prove with medical evidence that he's not the dad, setting the stage for a showdown. Watch as the judge navigates these choppy waters in the next clip.
You are here to prove Mr. James the biological father, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. James, you say you had stopped all intimate relations with Miss Kingsbury during the window of conception. You say you can prove this is not your child, undeniable medical evidence.
The emotional roller coaster takes another dip. Judge Lake delves into the heartache, probing Ms. Kingsbury about what hurts the most. She spills that planning to have their son, then being left in the lurch, cuts deep. Mr. James chimes in, admitting they initially had baby plans, but his feelings have chilled since then. This revelation stirs the pot even more, and you won't want to miss how this emotional tug-of-war unfolds.
What is the most hurtful part of this situation for you?
Well, me and Mr. James, we plan to have our son. Well, plan to have a child together. So that's what hurts me the most.
And so, did you plan this baby, Mr. James?
Yes, I did plan it at first. We did plan it at first, Your Honor.
You did?
You'll chuckle at this next twist. In a moment of courtroom drama, Mr. James exposes a white lie about how Ms. Kingsbury got to work, shaking the foundations of their trust. This minor fib about a ride escalates into major doubts about her honesty overall, turning the case into a veritable telenovela. The judge's reaction to this bombshell will have you on the edge of your seat.
I guess wanting to be serious with me.
All right, so tell the truth now. Well, that's why we're here. Tell the truth.
Happened.
So what happened?
Oh, I lied about a way that I got to work. I didn't tell him who took me. I told him that it was my sister who took me, but it was a customer of mine. I asked him if he can give me a ride to work. I did what I had to do to get to work. I didn't have a way. I had to take my daughter all the way to the other side of town to her godmother, and I had to get to work.
Things get even more tangled as secrets come to light. Ms. Kingsbury drops the bomb that she was pregnant while at work, but Mr. James was too sleepy to care, or so he says. Then, in a twist worthy of reality TV, he reveals he was playing house with another woman at the same time. The layers of drama pile up, leading to a revelation that shakes everyone up. Stay tuned to see how the judge deals with this soap opera scenario.
I took the pregnancy test about 7:30 that evening. It was positive, and I called him and let him know.
And what did he say?
He didn't say too much. I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
That's what he said to me.
At the time she said she conceived with a baby, she was walking with her coworkers then. Like she was walking home with him. I don't know if they had sex or not.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
So she's walking home now with somebody.
Let me explain something to you.
About that time,
me
she
and
told
my
me she was
co-worker live in the same neighborhood.
A genetic puzzle adds intrigue to the mix. The topic turns scientific when it's disclosed that little Chance has the sickle cell trait, which Mr. James uses as his ace to claim he's not the father, since no one in his family has the trait. This new angle adds a layer of complexity to the case, mixing medicine with melodrama. The expert testimony up next will make your jaw drop.
I seen him pee.
He signed the birth certificate. He signed the birth certificate and everything. He did.
Because I thought
my
that's
son
the right
has his
thing
last
to do.
name.
Even though I had my doubt, as a person, I believe in God, whatever like that. I believe as a man,
the doubt
take
is
responsibility.
At what point do you really have real doubt this child is yours?
I think when he was like 2 months, the sickle cell trait.
Chance was born with the sickle cell trait.
Yes.
Dr. Wanda Witten-Sherney steps in to shed light on the genetics of sickle cell trait, explaining that one of the parents must be a carrier. Her clarity brings a dose of reality to the mystical world of genetics, aiming to debunk myths and clear the fog around paternity. The court is all ears, and what she says next could change everything.
She's the CEO of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, Michigan chapter.
Hello, doctor. The witness stand right next to you. Going up the stairs.
Hi, Dr. Sherney.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We are here today talking about paternity of beautiful baby Chance.
And now for the grand finale. Hold on to your seats. The tension peaks as the paternity results are unveiled.
Mr. James, you are the father.
As the court session kicks off, the drama unfolds with the case of Thomas Sherman versus Costello, involving a squabble over the paternity of a child claimed by Ms. Sherman to be her late brother's son. Grab your popcorn. This is gonna be good.
This is the case of Thomas Sherman versus Costello.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Sherman, you claim the defendant is taking advantage of your grieving aunt emotionally and financially by claiming your deceased brother is her child's father.
Ms. Costello, clearly fed up, retorts that she's sick of the constant paternity questioning from Ms. Sherman and Ms. Thomas. She's here to clear the air once and for all. The next part is a doozy, so stay tuned.
Ms. Costello, you say you're tired of Ms. Sherman and Ms. Thomas questioning the paternity of your son, and you are here to put an end to their doubt once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Sherman, you say Ms. Costello is taking advantage of your aunt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sherman dives into the details, explaining her aunt's financial support for Ms. Costello's child, deeming it unfair without paternity proof. The courtroom is heating up, and you won't believe what comes next.
She supports this baby financially, as in buying his diapers, his clothes, his food when he is at the house. If he has a doctor's appointment, she is there, and that's not right if she doesn't know the baby is his.
Your Honor, that's his family.
We don't know
choose
that.
to decide to
We don't
do
know
that.
that.
Erica was there with me at the hospital.
We don't know
when I had the baby, and when Ryan was born, she saw the crown of his head and said, he is a Sherman.
Standing her ground, Ms. Costello argues that her actions are justified as the child's aunt treats him like family by choice. The air's thick with tension. Let's see where this goes.
You are not taking advantage of Ms. Thomas, Ms. Costello?
No, ma'am. She is. She takes her part as being his aunt. She raises him. He goes over to her house every other week for an entire week. And if there were any doubts that she had about Ryan being his son, then it shouldn't matter what he does, because if that's his kid.
But the truth is, there still is very real doubt. Is there doubt?
No, ma'am, not on my end.
In a tale worthy of a soap opera, Ms. Costello outlines her complicated pregnancy timeline, detailing her relationships and encounters. Fasten your seatbelts. The plot is about to thicken.
Take me to the point you found out you were pregnant.
I found out I was pregnant in the middle of March, and at that point in time, I contacted Ryan and I told him, hey, I think I'm pregnant. Is this my kid? And I said, well, it was a slap in the face, because I know he had room for doubt, because when we broke up in the beginning of January, I started to talk to somebody else. He started to talk to somebody else. And then towards the middle of, after me and the other guy had intercourse with each other, Ryan and I had intercourse probably about a week later.
Armed with a conception calculator, the judge aims to pinpoint the likely conception window based on the child's birth date. The results are almost in, and you won't want to miss this reveal.
So the best way to figure this out, to go to my conception calculator. Let's figure this out.
Baby Ryan's birthday is October 27, 2017.
I put that birth date in, October 27, 2017, and press calculate. Calculates the window of conception as February 1st to February 5th, and the date of intercourse between January 29th and February 5th. You were having sex with the other guy.
I was having sex with the other guy the beginning of January.
Despite harboring doubts, Mrs. Sherman reveals her deep emotional connection to the child, underscoring the messy nature of family ties. The emotional roller coaster isn't over yet. Watch out for the twists ahead.
If you have doubts,
because if I have doubts and that is my brother, baby, I still want to be there.
No,
my
because
brother's
I don't
not there
want you to
for
be
him.
there. If you have doubt, there's no need for you to be in my child's life.
That's exactly why my brother said he didn't deny it.
When you find out, I want an apology, and at that same time, when I get that apology, you still won't be able to see Ryan.
That's your decision then you took me away from him.
You took yourself away when you had doubts.
But I just said I'm gonna be there though, right?
No, you took.
Ms. Thomas shares how she swayed Ms. Costello to name her baby Ryan amidst the family drama. The emotional stakes are high, and the courtroom is on the edge of its seats.
Ms. Costello to name the baby Ryan.
Yes, when I seen Ryan's head, because if you look at any of our family, you cannot deny none of our family. Our family look identical to each other. Everybody. When I seen that baby come out and I seen his crown, I just started crying. I said, that's my baby. Even though all the drama was going on, I text her pictures. He was born, y'all. He's here. He's ours.
She did.
He's ours.
The moment of truth approaches as the DNA results are about to be disclosed. This could flip everything upside down. Get ready for the big drop.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Nalencia Sherman and Ryan Costello Sherman is 97.8%. You are related.
Yes! I do it. We good.
You could cut the tension in the courtroom with a butter knife. The Cherry v. Johnson case kicks off, and things get wild. Miss Cherry, seeing Mr. Johnson in person for the first time, claims he's her dad. Mr. Johnson isn't so sure, but knows today's results are a big deal. Trust me, it gets crazier from here.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Cherry versus Johnson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Cherry, you claim Mr. Johnson is your father, even though this is the first time ever seen him in person. You know he does not believe that he is your biological biological father.
Just when you think it can't get more intense, Miss Cherry drops a bomb. She talks about her adoption and all the mean comments she's heard about her real parents not loving her. Everyone in the courtroom is glued to her every word. Get ready for more jaw droppers.
I am just looking for closure. I was adopted, within family, so I know who my mother is and everything, but I was adopted within family, and certain family members have always made the statements that my parents just didn't love me and that's why they gave me up.
What? That is awful. I can't even imagine, Miss Cherry, what you've gone through having to hear just such mean-spirited remarks.
Hold on to your hats because Mr. Johnson's story is a doozy. He talks about a fling with Miss Cherry's mom in 1985, leading to a short relationship. He admits to the one-night stand, but questions the pregnancy timeline and her claim of being a virgin. The drama keeps coming.
At the time, in 1985, my girlfriend was also pregnant and she had left to go to Ohio. Well, Jennifer's mother sent someone from the neighborhood with a note saying that she wanted to sleep with me and she was in love with me. At this time, I had a few beers. Can't blame that on the alcohol, needless to say. We ended up having that one encounter that one night.
Did have sex with her mother?
Yes.
One night?
One night.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Mr. Johnson drops another bomb. He says a family member once told him he was the dad, only to apologize later for being wrong. This confession sends the room into a frenzy. Buckle up, it's about to get wilder.
At this time, I had already been told that I was not the father, but now again
Who told you you weren't the father at that time?
Someone in Jennifer's family that was threatening me to step up as her father for months. And all of a sudden, he came back to me. We found out who the real father is. You are not the father, and I apologize to you.
With everyone on the edge of their seats, Miss Cherry shares a heartbreaking detail. She reveals her birth parents gave up their rights 2 years before her adoption, challenging Mr. Johnson's claims about not knowing and DNA testing. The tension builds, and you won't believe what happens next.
My mother had advised me that 2 years prior to me being adopted, both parents signed their rights over. I feel like if you wanted to know, you could have found out at that moment because previously to that, the courts was trying to do a DNA test. You never showed up.
Do you remember signing over your parental right, Johnson?
I have never signed a birth certificate. I have never signed any documents.
Just when it couldn't get more emotional, Miss Cherry talks about feeling unloved and desperately searching for her real dad. Mr. Johnson admits he messed up in the past, making for a touching courtroom moment. Grab some tissues, there's more coming.
You say, I want to search for my father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you begin that search. Can you tell the court how that came about?
I did a DNA ancestry and it linked me to cousins. I had told them I don't know my father or anything like that, so they asked me for the name. They came literally 10 minutes, was like, we couldn't find anyone with that spelling, but we found someone with this spelling.
Everyone's holding their breath for the big reveal. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Johnson, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Just when you thought daytime TV couldn't get any wilder, we kick off with Miss Aiken, dropping the legal bomb of the century on her mom for a paternity mix-up. She's out here claiming the guy on her birth cert is as much her dad as a random dude from a 90s boy band, stirring up a whole kettle of confusion and feelings of betrayal. And you thought your family reunions were awkward.
Miss Aiken, you filed a lawsuit against your mother for paternity fraud you claim due to her many lies. You uncovered that one man is on your birth certificate, but you grew up calling another man dad. You are confused and say your world has been turned upside down. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Cue the dramatic courtroom music. Miss Aiken's mom stands firm, shaking off the accusation like a soap opera queen, swearing she's as innocent as a kitten and betting all her cookies that the DNA results will have her back. She's already drafting her "I told you so" speech, folks.
The DNA results prove who you claim is your daughter's biological father. You want an apology. Is that correct?
Your Honor.
All right. Miss Aiken, explain to me how your mother committed fraud.
For years, my mom has been lying to me back and forth about who my daddy is, and I'm hurt and I'm tired and I need to know who is my daddy.
Plot twist incoming. Brittany Aiken gets a curveball thrown her way when Harry Jenkins Jr., in a scene straight out of a telenovela, reveals he got the "you are not the father" spiel from her mom, kicking off a wild goose chase for the real paternal MVP. Grab your popcorn.
Henry Jenkins Jr. told me that my mom told him I wasn't his daughter, but he was like, whatever it is.
Wait a minute. I never in my life told that.
So, do you believe Ms. Aiken is Mr. Jenkins' biological child?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is what you're asserting here in court today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Throughout your childhood, you were told that Mr. Jenkins was your biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
As if we're not already knee-deep in this soap opera, Brittany discovers her birth certificate plays a game of musical dads, listing Thomas Lewis Aiken as the Papa Bear. This revelation sends her on a detective spree, uncovering family secrets like she's on a treasure hunt. But instead of gold, it's just more confusion about who she should be sending Father's Day cards to.
Yes, Your
Jerome, will
Honor.
you pass me her evidence, please? Why did you go get a birth certificate?
To get his survivor's check, Your Honor.
Okay, so upon Mr. Jenkins' death, you were trying to collect benefits.
Yes.
And when you got your birth certificate, what did you find?
That Thomas Lewis Aiken name was on my birth certificate, not Mr. Jenkins.
When you see the name Thomas Lewis Aiken, what do you do?
I'm puzzled because I don't know this man.
In a twist that not even Maury saw coming, Brittany meets Thomas Aiken's mom, and they're practically mirror images of each other. She's out here solving family puzzles, wondering if she's also inherited the family's uncanny ability to parallel park on the first try.
Ever get a chance to meet Mr. Aiken?
No, Your Honor, because he wasn't there yet. After we had went over and left, she told me and my husband, Thomas Aiken had filled out the birth certificate. When she was laying in the bed, she had dozed off and went to sleep.
Oh, your mother says that when she was asleep, Mr. Aiken filled out the birth certificate and put his name on it.
Yeah.
I did not tell her that.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. Thomas Aiken throws another wrench in the works, swearing he couldn't be Brittany's dad because he was busy enjoying a government-sponsored vacation, aka he was in jail during her conception. The plot thickens like my grandma's gravy.
Tired of too.
Mr. Aiken, thank you for joining us. You may be seated. Mr. Aiken, as you know, we are here discussing paternity surrounding Brittany. She carries your last name. Do you acknowledge that you have had a relationship with Ms. Bonnie Aiken?
Yeah, that's my wife.
You are still married
Yeah,
to her?
I'm still married to her.
To this day?
To this day.
And just when you think we're heading for a commercial break, Brittany attempts to play DNA detective with Thomas Aiken, aiming to swab and solve the mystery once and for all. But alas, fate has other plans, and the DNA test fades into the sunset, leaving our heroine with more questions than a philosophy major.
So in your mind, there is no way that you are her biological father. So Brittany, did you ever hear this? Because you believe he could be your biological father, but saying now today, there's no way I could be.
When I met Thomas, I had gave him the birth certificate. I didn't fill it out. It wasn't me. Your mom told me, you're not my child.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hold on to your hats because here comes the mother of all twists. The DNA results are in.
It's been determined by this court. Mr. Jenkins and Ms. Brittany Aiken are not related.
I'm sorry, Your Honor,
so sorry.
but I always had thought that was your daddy.
Buckle up, folks. We're diving headfirst into the Who's Your Daddy? Olympic Games. The case kicks off with all the usual courtroom pomp and ceremony, setting up a paternity pickle between Ms. Adams and Mr. Spencer over some adorable 13-month-old twins. Get your popcorn ready because this drama train is leaving the station. Choo-choo.
Ms. Adams, you say you were caught in a love triangle and now the defendant doesn't believe he fathered your 13-month-old twins, Kamarian and Kamariana. You testify that you are 100% certain he is and plan to prove it today in court.
Picture this, Ms. Adams caught in a love pretzel. Not just a triangle, folks. She details her leap from a long-term love ship into Mr. Spencer's arms, or, well, the general vicinity. It's like a romantic comedy without the budget for a big-name cast. Strap in, the soap opera twists are just getting started.
Well, to be honest with you, I got caught up in a love triangle because I was with the same man for 13 years. I had separated. When we separated, I had went out actually one day, to the bar, and that's when I had met Marquise. That's when we started, having dealings with each other and things like that.
You were in a long-standing relationship.
Yes.
And then you broke up. And during that time, you were intimate with Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Did you use protection?
No.
Over to Mr. Spencer, who's pretty sure he's not the father, but also kind of is. It's like choosing between deal or no deal without seeing the cases. He's planning a grand exit if the DNA results say, not it. Next up, will Mr. Spencer ghost or get ghosted? Stay tuned.
You all started having a sexual relationship. You didn't use protection.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
you
sir.
weren't in a committed relationship.
No, we were.
Miss Adams, were you intimate with anybody else during that time?
No, I was not.
So how soon after you broke up with your ex did you meet Mr. Spencer?
I'll say like about 2.5 months later.
So during this window of time you were intimate with Mr. Spencer, you were not dealing with your ex at all?
No, I was not.
Boom. Ms. Adams drops the pregnancy bomb while Mr. Spencer's MIA, making it a solo celebration. She's certain he's the papa bear to her cubs, even when he's off the grid. Will he buy balloons or bolt? The suspense is real, folks.
Well, I had found out pregnant during the time that Markeith Spencer had went away. When Markeith went away, I had found out that same week that I was pregnant.
All right, the point you found out you were pregnant, who did you tell?
I told a family member of Markeith Spencer that I was currently pregnant and that I need to speak with him immediately.
And you were confident at that time that Mr. Spencer was your child's biological father. And so, Mr. Spencer, your family member informed you that Ms. Adams was pregnant?
Yeah, she called me.
Enter stage left, the ex and his mom casting doubts like they're fishing for doubts in the sea of paternity. Suddenly, everyone's a family resemblance expert. Get ready for a plot twist that makes M. Night Shyamalan look predictable.
How do we get here?
Once I had the babies, the pictures went out on the internet, and that's when my ex-mother called me and said that those are my grandbabies. They look just like my son.
Oh. And so once she said that, had you been thinking of that in the back of your mind all this time? Never.
Never. I was starting to hear it so much, and I was getting so many phone calls from like my ex side of the family and everything about the boy. Marianne, they were saying he looked like my ex.
Plot twist. Ms. Adams admits to using the twins as adorable, albeit confusing, bait to reel her ex back in. It's like The Parent Trap, but with less Lindsay Lohan and more Maury Povich. But wait, there's more. Will our star-crossed lovers reunite, or is this the end of their rom-com?
Markeith was not the father, but then, she was just telling me, oh, Christian, put two and two together, just think about it. Like it don't make sense. You already had the babies early, so you could have been already pregnant when you was messing with Mr. Spencer. She was just, saying things like that and stuff. So then I started saying, well, you know what, you never know. And I was also just going off of emotion and knowing I was still in love and things like that. So I just wasn't really even looking at the whole situation. I just was like, whatever it was it took to get back with him.
Just when you thought our love triangle couldn't get any more obtuse, Ms. Adams decides Mr. Spencer is out of the love game. It's like a reality TV elimination round, but the stakes are two cute twins. Who will get the final rose? Or, the diaper bag?
Where are you in the story? You're telling both men now at this point is their twins?
After I had the babies, Markeith was around for the first month. Throughout that whole month, it was like so much drama with his ex, so much drama with him. It was like all over again. From Mitchell,
yes,
because his mom called him. So he called me and was like, Christian, I'm hearing that it's a chance that those babies are mine. Is that true? I said that I knew that they was Markeith's. I said, but to this point, you just never know. Just come back, because I want you to come back regardless. We could just start over.
The drama peaks as everyone confronts everyone else. It's like a family reunion, but with more accusations and less potato salad. This is the moment when secrets come out, and everyone wishes they had just stayed home and binge-watched Netflix instead.
So just to be clear, you are the mother of Mitchell, which is Ms. Adams' ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
And I have to ask you, do you believe these are your son's biological children?
Yes, I do.
Please explain to the court.
The first week that they was born, Kristen's mom called me. So she said, by now, look, take a look at the babies. Look at these pictures. Something ain't right.
Drum roll, please. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Spencer. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Spencer.
So we kick things off with Mr. Buchanan, looking as confused as a chameleon in a bag of Skittles, voicing his skepticism about the paternity of Ms. Stimbridge's 6-month-old cutie pie. He's on his third "you are the father" rodeo, with the previous 2 rounds proving he's not the daddy. The plot thickens as he hints at Misery Stimbridge's possible shenanigans, including a not-so-secret rendezvous with his ex-buddy/roommate. Just when you thought it couldn't get any spicier, Mr. Buchanan discovers clues of Ms. Stimbridge's infidelity post-jailbreak. Among the evidence, lemon drops. Yep, you hear that right. Lemon drops, the candy of love, betrayal, and everything in between. This McNeil with gossip that's juicier than a watermelon at a summer picnic. She claims to have caught Ms. Stimbridge in a rather, compromising tableau. This latest scoop adds more layers to Mr. Buchanan's suspicion pie, making it a 5-layer dip. As the courtroom drama unfolds, Mr. Buchanan, in a moment of unexpected tenderness, shares his deep emotional bond with the little one in question. Paternity mystery be damned. He's ready to be the dad of the year, regardless of what the DNA bingo decides. Grab your tissues. This is where it gets heartwarming and slightly less ridiculous.
2 weeks.
And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA results are in.
When it comes to 6-month-old Sophia, Mr. Buchanan, you
So, get this, Mr. Hardy is out here full of conviction, dropping the bomb that he's the one and only daddy to 26-year-old Taylor. He's like, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, never once doubting he's the main man in her life. But then, plot twist, Taylor's stepmom throws in a wild card, hinting maybe, just maybe, another dude might be her real dad. Cue the dramatic music and a collective gasp.
What you have always known, that you fathered the defendant's 26-year-old daughter, Taylor. You say your belief proven to be true after Taylor learned another man was not her biological dad here in this courtroom.
Come to me and asked me if he was her dad because she said her stepmother told her that he was not.
How old were you then?
12, 13.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more like a daytime TV drama, Ms. Lynn steps up to the plate, swinging. She accuses Mr. Hardy of living in a soap opera, suggesting he's been puppeteered out of fatherhood by unseen forces. But wait, there's more. She casually drops that there might be another guy in the mix, making the paternity plot thicker than a Thanksgiving gravy. Mr. Hardy, undeterred, stands his ground, claiming father-daughter resemblance and perfect timing with Taylor's mom as his proof. It's getting spicy.
You say Ms. Lynn is a master manipulator who has stopped you from being a daddy to your little girl. Ms. Lynn, you claim the plaintiff is not Taylor's biological father.
There's a possibility between him and one other person.
So, Mr. Hardy, you say you've always known you were Taylor's biological father?
Brandy and I was together at the time that Taylor was conceived. I was there much as we could possibly be together.
Taylor, meanwhile, is having her own Who's My Daddy saga. Picture this, Thanksgiving, a time for turkey and apparently life-altering conversations. Taylor decides she's not just after Mr. Hardy's secret gravy recipe. She wants to know if he's her bio dad. Fast forward to a Facebook detective drama with Taylor and Mr. Hardy exchanging "Are you my father?" messages. Spoiler, he thinks yes.
Taylor, I want to ask you, all this time you're being raised by Mr. Jennings, and this is the man you believe is your biological father your whole life.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when you meet Mr. Hardy, it really means nothing to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how did you find out that he might be your biological
It
father?
was Thanksgiving. I think it was maybe I was 23, right around there. I had asked my mom because my boyfriend had mentioned that I looked like him.
Ms. Lynn, in a moment of rare calm, reflects on why she decided to play the paternity card later rather than sooner. She's like a parental ninja trying to shield Taylor from emotional shrapnel. It's all about timing, folks, even when that timing makes everyone's life a reality show episode.
Ms. Lynn, when you hear your daughter speak so beautifully about a day spent with Mr. Hardy, that just having that moment just meant the world to her, how does that make you feel? Because it is your assertion that there's a very real possibility that he is not her biological father.
It hurts me for her because she grew up knowing the man I was married to as her father.
Just as you're grabbing more popcorn, enter Mr. Bryant, the dark horse in this dad derby. He's been lurking in the shadows, thinking he might be Taylor's real dad. Talk about throwing a wrench into the works. Now we've got more potential daddies than a Maury Povich marathon.
How did you find out about him, Mr. Bryant?
The last time I appeared here.
In this courtroom?
Yes. Then I asked her what his name was, and I looked him up on Facebook.
Who do you believe is your biological father? Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Because you don't believe Mr. Bryant?
Yes, I don't think I look like him.
You don't think you look like him? Ms. Lynn, you had informed Mr. Bryant that he was a possible father?
Yes.
So he knew this?
Yes.
Drum roll, please. As we reach the crescendo, the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. Taylor's biological father is Mr. Bryant.
Yes! Yes, I told you! Can I give her a hug? Thank you.